All right, so now we're gonna pan. All right, so today what I'm doing is I'm giving an informative speech. This has to be on someone who's famous, and so what I did is I chose someone who I also find inspirational. That person is Loretta Lynn. So when I was preparing this speech, I did some research and I used the Country Music Hall of Fame biography that was written on her, and also the History Channel wrote a biography on her. So I used both of these as factual basis for my speech. So Loretta Lynn has always been one of my favorite country music singers. I actually have a dog that I've named after her as well. But it's not just her artistic talent that intrigues me the most. She actually has had a bunch of struggles throughout her life that she has had to overcome to get to where she is today. And these struggles, they're somewhat storybook. They seem more like fiction than fact. But they have paved the way for her and made her a true figure of female empowerment. And this has given her the chance to pave the way for more female greats in country music. So life doesn't start out the same for everyone. We're not all born with a silver spoon in hand or in mouth, and by that, it typically means that we aren't all given abundant opportunities to follow our dreams. So other people have to create their own opportunities, and Loretta Lynn was one of these people who had to do that as well. I would consider her to be a great example of inspiration because she grew up poor. She became a young wife and a young mother, and while that would hinder most people in chasing their dreams, it didn't do that for Loretta Lynn. She found courage to create her opportunities and forced her way into not only the history books but also the top of country music. Now we're gonna pan again real quick. All right, so born the daughter of a poor coal miner, Loretta Lynn came from what many people would refer to as nothing. She worked really hard to overcome life's shortcomings and quickly climbed her way to the top of country music charts to become one of the original ladies in country music. Tragedy struck Loretta more times than not, yet she persevered through it all to keep her rightful place as queen of country music. The story of Loretta's life resembles that of a fiction novel. She was born into a poor family of 8 children that lived in a one-room log cabin, and they all lived on a dirt floor. At 15 years old, she baked a pie for her local auction, which back then they called a pie social. She actually accidentally baked this pie with salt instead of sugar. So the highest bidder on her pie quickly confronted her. And during that conversation, it turns out that her accident in the kitchen led to change her life forever because that highest bidder became her husband, Mooney Lynn. So Loretta quickly became pregnant into their marriage, and before the age of 22, she had already had 4 children. Years later, she welcomed twins into this world as well. Loretta's husband, Mooney, was very supportive, and he was known to boast of his wife's many artistic talents to anyone who would listen. He helped her get her foot into the door of many different music venues, and that helped to kickstart her career in country music. After finding her big break in the industry, Loretta went on to win many awards and is now known as the most awarded woman in country music. Loretta is no stranger to loss, grief, or illness. She first lost her son, Jack Benny Lynn. He was trying to cross the Duck River on horseback at their family ranch in Tennessee when he actually fell off, busted his head, and died. She then ended up losing her husband about 10 years later to some complications with diabetes, and then in 2013 she lost one of her daughters to emphysema. Now, while she did face all those tragedies, she kept fighting through her career, and then in 2017 she had her own illness when she had a stroke, and she actually recovered from that, and the next thing you know, she had a new album out at the age of 90 in 2021, so she was 89, and she released another album, and now she is 90 years old. So even though she had all of these different illnesses and loss, she that would typically become the death of someone's career, the same could not be said for her. She persevered through the tragedy and continued to let it inspire her music. The shortcomings in life that were thrown at her and all of the different tragedies did inspire her, and the poor and uneducated little girl who was raised up on a dirt floor in a one-bedroom and one-room log cabin in Butcher Hollow, Kentucky, knocked down the many gender roles and obstacles on her path to the top of country music charts, and in turn she paved the way for many female greats to come into the world of country music. All right, so now we're going to pan one more time.